Um, this game right here is going to be a very good game because
Mm-hmm.
it is once again a game of kind of strength against strength. The Tennessee run game is the strength of this offense against a Texas A&M front that is very strong against the run game. You have also got on the flip side Texas A&M. They rely on the run game as well, and Tennessee's defensive front is very strong against the run game. You've got two teams that are in the top of the SEC when it comes to sacks per game. Texas A&M has one more game on Tennessee, so they have more sacks. They have 26 on the season in 6 games. Tennessee has 22 in 5 games. So I look for the offensive line for both teams to be the X factor in this game. Which line can give more protection in the pass game and the run game? And that's what it's going to ultimately come down to see who wins this game.
Well, let me tell you something, and I love the fact that you just preach, brother. Like, I was listening the whole time. But this ain't going to be who can run the ball better. All right, this is going to be a Joe Milton versus Max Johnson football game. This is going to be who can move the ball through the air against the secondary, because we both know Tennessee's defensive line, Texas A&M's defensive line, it's going to be a lot like the Alabama game. Dude, our defensive line is good, okay? I'm not going to say they're as good as Alabama, but, I mean, I'm not going to say they're worse. I mean, I think this game could be, as much as I hate to say this, because I don't want it to be, but this could be a low-scoring game. I mean, it really could be. But could we see this game from Joe Milton that we've been talking about, that kind of like Carson Beck just had with Georgia, where he starts out 12 of 12. Does he have 200 yards within a first half? Does he have multiple touchdown passes? Can he move the ball through the air? Do we stop throwing it side to side, and can we actually attack down the middle of the field? Do we see that from our offense? We've had 2 weeks to prepare for it. I know we're missing one of our biggest targets. Brew McCoy's out for the season. We mentioned this in the recap video 2 weeks ago. He's out for the season. Do we see somebody that we've not seen? And I've been hinting at it in my TikToks. I cannot wait, bro, because if I'm right, I'm giddy about this. Do we see D. Williams get on the offense and just be that electrifying playmaker that we need to see? We've got playmakers all across the field, between our running backs, all 3 of them, between Ramel Keaton, who's really not done anything to this point in the season. He's got a couple of touchdown passes or receptions, but we got Squirrel White, who's just really fast. And Dante Thornton has not done anything. In fact, he's probably pissed people off more than he's really had anybody excited about him. I know last year, and I hate that it happened, but when Brew went down, it actually opened the door for Jalen Hyatt. Do we see that same kind of effect in Tennessee's offense, where when Brew goes down, does somebody emerge that we just never thought had it in them?
Did you mean Cedric Tillman went down last year?
I did. What did I say? My bad. Yeah, when Cedric Tillman went down last year, it opened the door for Jalen Hyatt. My bad for everybody listening. I suck at my job.
We're still learning.
But you also know where I'm going with this. Like, when Brew went down, does that open the door, especially with the bye week? Does that open the door for somebody that, like, maybe we didn't really anticipate having a great year, ends up having, like, a great year?
That's a good point. Does it come down to one of these guys that's in there stepping up? Is it going to be Dante Thornton? I don't think so, based on what we've seen to this point. But can he step up? Will it be Squirrel White? Will it be Ramel Keaton? Or will it be a D. Williams, like you just mentioned? A Chaz Nimrod? Who's the other guy that's kind of been coming in some?
Caleb Webb, Chaz Nimrod. Yeah,
Caleb Webb. I've even seen talk, maybe they line Dylan Sampson out there in the slot and let
play
him
2 running backs. I don't see what that's a problem with that. Several years back, we had Jalen Hurd, Alvin Kamara in the background, and there were 2 completely different type of backs. I don't see there being a problem with you running Dylan Sampson and maybe Jalen Wright, because they're actually pretty similar in the running style. But either way, you could throw one out in a quick bubble screen. You can hand the ball off inside to Jalen Wright. There's insurmountable opportunity with this offense, and that's something I kind of want to see. I hate to cut you off the way I just did, so I apologize, but I want to see from our offensive coordinator, Joey Housley, and then also, obviously, Josh Heupel, what they decide to do with this offense to make it really exciting. Because honestly, so far this season, they've not had a lot of exciting plays. We've had some big runs and we've had some big throws, but it's not been near as explosive and as electrifying as last year's offense was.
And I'm trying to think who is the guy that's been returning kicks some whenever Cam Seldon. Can we get Cam Seldon out there? Because he was recruited as a athlete on the roster and
Yeah.
not really a running back or wide receiver. Can we see him get out there and maybe play some wide receiver? I think there's many different options that Tennessee can go with. And can we have one of these guys that can emerge and have that year? I'm not going to say like Jalen Hyatt did last year, but similar to how he did, how he kind of broke out once he got out from behind that. I won't say shadow of the guy in front of him, but it opened things up for
Yeah.
for him.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Cam Seldon was brought on as an athlete. He was practicing throughout the spring to be a running back. That's where they thought he'd have the most potential. But he is still a freshman. But as you said, I mean, he's dynamic. He can be anywhere. He's kind of a bigger back, to be honest with you. But he runs powerful. He runs behind the pads. But yeah, I mean, Josh Heupel said it in his presser last week, and the one time that we got to listen to him is, "Hey, we need somebody to stand up." I mean, the immediate answer and the answer that would be the easy fix is if Deontay Thornton would just step up and take over. He's the guy that's got the height, he's got the physical ability, he's got the speed, all in one package. That would be the easy fix. But if he's not that guy, all right, and I would hate it if he's not, because man, they really overblew him in the hype in the offseason when he transferred in. But who is that guy that steps up? I don't know, man. I'm excited to see it though, and I'm still going to take the boys. All right, I'm going to be at the game. I can't be at the game saying like, I picked A&M to win this game. I kind of don't want to pick up this first down. Hell no, dude. Give me the Vols, bro. I think we're going to win. This can either go one of two ways. It's going to be a nail biter. It's going to be an absolute nail biter, or we're going to win by double digits. I don't see this being like a game in control. We're just trying to milk off the clock type of thing. I don't know. I just feel like this game is going to be like we need to last second score, because we're behind and we need to get, have that game winning drive, or I think we win by multiple touchdowns because Joe Milton figures it out.
I'm with you. It's either going to be one of two. It's either going to be a really tight game, or I think Tennessee wins by a couple of touchdowns. But I'm going to bring up kind of what we talked about last week. I don't think that Joe Milton has this breakout game because I think Joe Milton is what he is.
Is what he is. Yep. I agree with you.
And that's why I think this game is going to be close. But I will say this. If it is a low-scoring affair, kind of like how you said earlier, this favors Texas A&M.
It does.
I'm not predicting Texas A&M to win. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I'm taking my Vols. I am. But that favors Texas A&M. So it's going to come down to who can score last or who can get the last stop. But if this is a shootout game, Tennessee wins going away. It favors Tennessee more in a shootout, and it favors Texas A&M more in a close pound the ball type of slugfest. But one thing, and we brought it up last week, that I like going forward into this game. Texas A&M is coming off a game against Alabama in which it was a very, very physical game. So the way that Texas A&M lost the game last week, is that going to affect them going into the game? Or is it going to be some motivation for them?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. And the biggest key of all, though, is it's in Knoxville. It's at Neyland. Playing on the road is hard. Alabama is elite because they were able to go into College Station and pull out that win. A&M's going to have – look, Spencer Rattler tried to play it down when South Carolina came into Tennessee like, we'll handle the noise just fine. Did you? Did you really? I don't think you did. No team, no matter how good the team is, you're going to have false starts when you're in a loud environment, no matter how good you are. You're going to hear a clap that you might have thought was a clap, but it wasn't a clap. Like just weird things like that. When it's a silent count, you're basically going off of timing, and everybody's timing in their head could be different. It's hard to be on rhythm when you're in a loud environment. And when I'm talking loud, I'm talking Neyland loud. And Tennessee fans know exactly what I'm talking about. A&M fans know exactly what I'm talking about because the 12th man is freaking loud. I mean, I'm talking 120 plus decibel levels for literally 4 hours straight. it's hard to do that. This game's in Neyland. I think that's going to favor Tennessee big time. Vegas has this as a pick 'em. I mean, Tennessee's favored by 3, but everybody knows you get 3 favored when you get 3 points added to whatever your normal line would be if it's at home. So they're checkering Neyland. I'm actually wearing white. Kind of mad about that, but it is what it is. I'm wearing white. I think it's going to be a very fun game. SEC Nation's going to be there. A&M is going to be a great game, but this can kind of be like that Pitt game last year. If we win this game, this could be a special season for Tennessee. If we lose this game, however, it could be a long one for the Vol fans for the remainder of the season.